The NFL just handed the Seattle Seahawks a massive winning lottery ticket, and if you're a fan in the Pacific Northwest, you need to be celebrating in the streets right now. We are talking about a total disaster avoided that could have derailed the entire 2026 season before it even kicked off. Before we dive in, smash that subscribe button if you want the fastest NFL updates on the planet. Listen, I was hitting the iron at the gym at 4 in the morning when this news broke, and I almost dropped a plate on my foot out of pure excitement. The league just released the international schedule details, and guess who is nowhere to be found on that flight manifest? Our Seattle Seahawks. This is an absolute masterclass in dodging a bullet. While other teams are going to be dragging their jet-lag bodies across oceans, our boys are staying right here on home soil. But why is this actually the best news we've heard all year? Let's break down the chaos we just escaped. Does anyone actually enjoy those international games? Or is it just a massive headache for everyone involved? Let's be real for a second. Being a Seahawks fan means understanding one thing better than anyone else in the league. Travel fatigue is a silent killer. Because we are tucked away in the top left corner of the map, we already lead the league in miles traveled almost every single year. We are essentially the lonely island of the NFL. Our closest divisional rival is down in San Francisco, and everyone else is a cross-country trek away. Last season, the Seahawks were consistently in the top 10 for most miles traveled. It is a grueling, exhausting cycle that wears down even the youngest players. Now, look at the teams that actually have to go overseas this year. We're talking about teams like the Rams and the Niners who are heading to places as far as Australia. They are going to be racking up well over 30,000 miles. By staying off that international list, Seattle is sitting pretty at around 22,000 miles. That is a 10,000-mile advantage. When you get older, you realize that sitting on a plane for 10 hours makes your back feel like it's made of dry twigs. Now imagine being a 300-pound defensive lineman trying to keep your body at peak performance after a flight like that. It's a recipe for disaster. The fact that the NFL isn't forcing us to add an extra 5,000-mile round trip to London or Germany is a massive gift to our recovery cycles. But it's not just about the planes. It's about the routine. But wait until you hear how this affects the actual locker room culture and the biological clocks of these athletes. NFL players are absolute creatures of habit. They want their Monday to look like every other Monday. They want their 10 a.m. practice to start exactly at 10 a.m. When you throw an international game into the mix, you throw the entire internal clock of the roster into a wood chipper. We've seen it happen time and time again. Teams go over to London, they struggle with the time change, they play a sluggish game, and then they come back home and look like zombies for the next 2 weeks. It doesn't just ruin one game. It can ruin a 3-week stretch of the season. By dodging this, the Seahawks keep their weekly schedule locked in. No 3 a.m. wake-up calls. No weird Tuesday flights. Just pure, unadulterated football focus. Who do you think is the biggest habit player on the roster who would have struggled most with a trip to Europe? Drop a name in the comments right now. This is the spicy part that nobody wants to talk about, but we have to. International games are an injury trap. It's not just the travel. It's the surfaces. Think about the stadiums in Europe. Most of them are built for soccer. They are designed for 160-pound guys like Lionel Messi to glide across. They are not built for a monster like Leonard Williams or a powerhouse like DeMarcus Lawrence to be digging their cleats in and exploding off the line. We've seen these hybrid grass surfaces in international stadiums become absolute slip and slides. When a player's cleat catches weirdly on a surface that wasn't designed for NFL-level torque, ligaments snap. It's a horrifying reality. Seattle has a young core, but we also have vital veteran leaders who are on the wrong side of 30. We need guys like Jiren and our veteran O-line healthy for the December stretch. Putting them on a soccer pitch in London is like playing Russian roulette with their knees. By staying home, we get to play on the familiar, high-quality turf of Lumen Field. We know the traction, we know the bounce, and our training staff knows exactly how to prep the guys for that surface. This news is a massive win for the longevity of our star players. But wait, there is an even bigger reason why the fans should be screaming for joy, and it involves the actual atmosphere of the 12th man. One of the worst parts about the international series is that someone has to host those games. Usually, that means a team loses a precious home game. Can you imagine losing a Sunday at Lumen Field? The noise, the energy, the 12th man, that is a literal weapon that the Seahawks use to intimidate opponents. In the 2026 season, the Seahawks actually have an extra home game on the schedule. If the NFL had decided to ship us off to London, they likely would have taken that home game away from us. That would have been a betrayal of the fans and a massive disadvantage for the team. Instead, we get to keep every single one of our home dates. We get to keep the crowd noise, the home-cooked meals, and the intimidation factor that makes Seattle one of the hardest places to play in the world. Ownership is happy because the stadium is full, fans are happy because we don't have to watch the game on a laptop at 6 a.m., and players are happy because they get to sleep in their own beds. It's a win-win-win across the board. But let's talk about that 6 a.m. kickoff for a second, because as a fan, that is the ultimate nightmare. Let's be selfish for a minute. If you live on the West Coast, international games are a total vibe killer. If the game is in London, it usually kicks off around 6 a.m. or 7 a.m. Pacific time. If you're in Hawaii, you're basically watching the game while you're getting home from the club. It is miserable. You can't have a proper tailgate at 5:30 in the morning. You're sitting there in your pajamas, drinking coffee, trying to get hyped while the sun isn't even up yet. Feels wrong. The Seahawks are a high-energy team, and they deserve a high-energy broadcast slot. By staying stateside, we avoid those early bird special games. We get our mid-afternoon slots, our primetime games, and our standard 1 p.m. kickoffs. I don't know about you, but I'm not ready to be a Denny's early bird fan just yet. I want my football in the afternoon with a full rack of ribs and the sun shining over the stadium. Now, I don't want to rain on the parade, but we have to look at the fine print. The NFL has a rule that every single team has to host an international game at least once every 8 years. Right now, the Seahawks and the New York Giants are the only two teams who haven't checked that box yet. That means our time is coming. It's unavoidable. The league is going to make us fly across an ocean eventually. Rumor has it that 2027 or 2028 will be the year the Seahawks finally have to pack their passports. But you know what? That is a future me problem. I'll be 30 or 31 by then. Maybe by then, I'll have the patience to handle a 5 a.m. kickoff. But for right now, for the 2026 season, we are safe. We have dodged the jet lag, we have dodged the soccer fields, and we have kept our home field advantage intact. This is the kind of break that can be the difference between a 9-8 season and an 11-6 season. Every mile matters, every hour of sleep matters, and every home game matters. The Seahawks are staying in the 206, and that is the best news we could have asked for. The rest of the league can have their international frequent flyer miles. We'll take the wins and the healthy roster. Make sure you keep it locked right here because as the full schedule drops, we're going to be breaking down every single matchup, every travel mile, and every advantage the Seahawks have this year. You don't want to miss a single update as we march toward the preseason. We are closing in on a massive subscriber milestone, and I want you to be part of the crew that gets us there.